give an update on the Sunday Garden. I am, I believe, 75% through, or 80, and it's a lot to catch up on low-key, so I don't know. I didn't really, record my thoughts when I first started reading it, because I wasn't planning on making a video, but it's whatever. But so far, the Sunday Garden is following our main character, Sophie, who lost her best friend. And she's a gardener, so she's sent to this town in Maine to take care of I wouldn't say the most famous garden in the state even. I would say it's just kind of your historical garden sense, I don't know, a historical garden in your hometown, but your hometown just happens to be on the freaking coast of Maine. That kind of vibe. And she's there to not restore it, but it's kind of just been in the dumps. And the owner is throwing this big bicentennial party of the freaking decade because she's retiring, and she finds this man in a hidden garden in a door. And so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm just kind of just reading it as not just a pick-me-up read, but almost I don't know, just a fun little palate cleanser romance. Because it's not that crazy of a concept, and I do love Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip, which is the only other two books I've read by Ashley Poston. And I haven't read 7-Year Slip in a long time, but I know I was completely in love with that book, and the magical realism in it was probably my favorite magical realism I ever read in a romance book, a contemporary romance almost. And Dead Romantics I read on this channel in the fall, last fall, and I really enjoyed that book. Something about the setting, the seeing ghosts, all that. That book was magnificent. But I'm just I don't know what is stopping me from vibing completely with this book. There's a lot of kind of repetitiveness, and I like the concept of going into this secret garden. Take me there. But I just can't imagine in it, and I also can't imagine the setting as well as her other places that she's wrote about before, because she'll be describing gardens and flowers and all this stuff, but I'm just kind of lost. I don't really know what the garden looks like or the place she's staying at, really, which that is kind of making me feel a little like my feet aren't fully on the ground there. I'm kind of just, I know I'm walking around a garden, but I don't know the paths. I don't know which way to turn. I don't know what this place looks like. I don't know what the rose court looks like. I'm having a really hard time imagining it. And that's not usually an issue for me with books. I can imagine places in books. I can paint pictures in my head of what the characters look like and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna try to continue reading and hopefully finish this by today, because tomorrow's the end of July and I want to get 6 books read in the month of July. So yeah, let's go back to the secret garden. I also want to add, I'm going to cut this in the middle of I just remembered what I was going to say about 7-Year Slip and this book. I think I'm already predicting what's going to happen with the magical realism in this book, and it almost kind of reminds me of when everyone was so pissed that Marvel killed everyone off in Infinity War, right? Everyone got snapped by Thanos. And everyone was like, this is so insane because how are they going to reverse this? How are they going to reverse the snap? And when everyone found out that it was time travel back into like the past to stop it, it's just like, I'm not the biggest fan of time travel as a way to fix the main like issue of the story. And 7-Year Slip kind of did that almost. I vaguely remember what 7-Year Slip's like magical realism was. I know what it was. And I just feel like the Someday Garden is feeling almost like too close. It's feeling too similar to 7-Year Slip. Like the magical realism aspect is, I feel like almost not like a rip-off, but it's kind of ripping off 7-Year Slip, like, I feel a little. But we'll see. I might be wrong, and I won't even put this in if I'm wrong. So, we'll see the ending.
Portcullis.
Okay, 2 left.
All right then.
Oh, yeah.
No, really.
You don't want to know.
I don't want that. If I survived an old lady asking me, I think I'd brag about it.
Hey.
Okay, guys. I finished The Someday Garden by Ashley Poston. I finished it yesterday, and I had to think about it, about what I was going to give it as a star rating. And on Goodreads, I gave it 4 stars, which when I'm thinking back to that, now I'm like, I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads and then 3.75 on Fable, which I feel like that's more my rating, like how I actually feel about the book. It's a 3.75 read, 3.5, but Goodreads doesn't let you do 0.5. And I liked it. I didn't love it. I think some of the aspects of the story really hit with me. I really liked how Sophie, our main character, was a gardener. I haven't read that many stories about a main character who is a gardener, which I almost wanted more of that. Not just like, I knew she planted flowers and I knew she restored like the gardens that died, and I knew she planted seeds and watered flowers, but I almost wanted just like a little more detail or something. It felt like it was skimming the surface of a gardener and what gardeners do, but I don't even know why I'm talking about that, because I know it's not supposed to be just about gardeners. But I liked the main character. I liked Sophie a lot. I saw some of myself in her, but at other points I was just like, what are you doing? Like, girl. But that's what, oh my god, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I liked how in the garden time stopped for them and their romance so they could develop feelings and get to know each other, because if it was real life, they wouldn't have known each other or got to know each other, Sophie and the male love interest, or the main love interest. I liked how time stopped in the garden and they really could connect with one another, but I almost feel as though it's insta love. It felt just a little too fast. Okay, guys, reading updates for you. I really didn't introduce it, but I was reading The Shampoo Effect by Jenny Jackson, and I finished it. So let's talk about The Shampoo Effect. I read Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson a year ago, and I'd say I liked it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't love it, that is for sure. But I do like, one thing I like about Jenny Jackson's writing is that she is a true, just like general fiction writer, like pure character general fiction, character studies almost, I would say. I really like her characters. That's the main thing about her writing that I like. And so I picked up The Shampoo Effect. I loved it. I'm not joking. Why would I be joking? But I really, really, really highly recommend, if you're trying to get into fiction or just like general fiction of any sort, if you're like first starting out, I recommend The Shampoo Effect. Oh my god, there's a fly. I recommend it so strongly. Just the set of characters was so interesting to me, and I know that they weren't like the most juiciest, like drama driven set of characters or group, and they weren't very diverse either. They were all very similar to each other, and they're all rich too, let me say that. Like, please, damn, can you spare some? But I just fell in love with the storyline, and also the way that she used like the analogy of the shampoo effect in the story was so clever. Like, I just think the title, The Shampoo Effect, is so intriguing because it's just like, what does that mean? Like, you want to know why the title is The Shampoo Effect. And I think sometimes when books are like named crazy titles, or like these unique like titles that have never been used before, it's hard sometimes to find the meaning of the title inside of the book. But just the way that Jenny Jackson, she blatantly explained it as well. Like, she blatantly brought it up, and I loved that. I love that she did not leave us questioning, what does this mean? And I love that she kind of tied like that shampoo effect to like this group of friends that don't really know if they're truly friends, or is it just because they've known each other since they were children. I also audiobooked it. I highly recommend the audiobook. The audiobook it felt like I was listening to almost like a podcast or a drama podcast or some type of like 2020 special. I fell in love with it. And I also like how all the characters, I feel like most of the characters had a very nice arc, and in the end they were different from where they began. The one character I kind of had beef with was Van. I have no clue why. He was giving absolutely nothing. Like, he was giving nothing hamburger. Like, he was the driest patty ever. I don't know why all these women were like freaking out over him. But yeah, I gave The Shampoo Effect 4 stars, and I could have gave it 5. I think there was just some parts that were lacking there for me. I don't know exactly, but it just didn't feel like 5-star feelings. But it was such a great summer read as well. I wish I could have been on the beach listening to it. I started Misery by Stephen King. I don't think this is a summer read. I don't think this is a summer read. Let me clarify that. I have just been so obsessed. That's kind of funny because like the story is literally about like obsession with basically author, but I've just been so obsessed with Stephen King recently, and it's because I read his memoir, which is called On Writing, and I found his memoir to be some of the best just advice on not only writing but just on life too. It was so amazing, and I highly recommend, if you don't like Stephen King's fiction and his horror, but you can still appreciate his way of the craft, I 100% recommend his memoir On Writing. It doesn't even feel like you're actually reading like a memoir. It's almost just like a one-on-one conversation with like I was going to say a father figure. Please. Like just he kind of feels like if you had like a favorite English teacher growing up. That's kind of how I feel about him. But I started Misery, and it's giving summer ween, okay? This is what I'm telling myself. This is my summer ween book. And we're following our main character, Paul Sheldon. That's his name, right? Yeah. Sorry. We're following Paul Sheldon and Annie Wilkes, who is an ex-nurse who kind of finds Paul on the side of the road, and he is basically on the edge of death, and she takes him in, but she does not let him go. She saves him, but hey, Paul, we have to break it to you. She's not really gonna save you in the end.
Really real, you know. And don't forget, I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her.
Oh my god, Stinky Salmon. I'm just gonna sit on the ground. Okay. Should I turn my air off for you guys? Let's see. It's kind of hot to be doing that, and I think it's still loud. Okay. Let's talk. Quick and easy chat. But I finished Misery. I'm gonna give it a 4 stars out of 5. And I can confidently say that Misery is my favorite Stephen King book, and I think I'm going to recommend this book specifically to not a niche of like readers, but maybe more of like, if you're like, it's creepy, it's scary, it made me actually like scream and cringe while I was listening to the audiobook. I also would recommend the audiobook for this one as well. VHS Half Price Books haul. Found this gem. Chamber of Secrets. Another classic. Miracle on 34th Street. Then I got Teen Wolf. And let me tell you, if you've never seen this, put it on your watch list. I'm about to watch it tonight though, so if it's not good, because I haven't seen it in a while, but if it's not good, I'll update you. Okay. What? Boom, 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 boom. Here we are. Another book later. Let's talk about The Hotel Nantucket. So this is my first Ellen Hildebrand book, and I was honestly scared to try her writing because she's very loved by the reading community, especially like not just like the older reading community, but the young, like Gen Z. I feel like just like younger people in general really like Ellen Hildebrand's writing. And she's one of those authors that have been in my orbit for so long. Like 3 years. 3 years plus going on. How could you walk into a store and not see one of these books with a beach cover? It's blue and it has some type of real life person like beaching it up on it. So this is my first Ellen Hildebrand, and what do you think? Drumroll, please. What do you think about that? Drumroll. I absolutely ate this up. Oh my god. I was blown away. Immediately off the bat, I just fell in love with her writing. Her wit, her humor, her style. I like how she doesn't... This is my favorite part about her writing, and coin it right now. Because who's been saying this about Ellen Hildebrand? I love how do I say this? I was going to say it like, I love how she doesn't take stuff too serious. I love when people can take stuff not too serious. Like the ghost part of this story, people could take that way too far, like other authors. They could think they have to be historically, ghostly accurate. Like, ghosts can't fly through walls. Ghosts can't blow on someone's neck. Ghosts can't wear a Minnesota Twin City cap. But this ghost can, because Ellen Hildebrand don't give a F about other ghosts. She's writing her own ghosts. And she's just so fun. Like, everything she writes was just so fun and not even lighthearted, but it always had this feeling to me where it's like, she doesn't care if it's not like some crazy literary feat, right? No, she's having a good time writing this, and I had a great time reading it. Immediately, I was like, is this a 5-star? I don't know still. I probably have to sit on it for a while because I still remember everything so vividly about this book, but I also don't know if that's just because I finished reading it like yesterday. But if it holds true and I remember all the details, I might bump it up. But it's a 4.25, 4 on Goodreads, but on Fable I got 4.25. I'm ready to start my Ellen Hildebrand journey. You heard it here, folks. I'm ready to start it. Can someone recommend, please, if this is your favorite by her and you have another favorite, please comment down below what I should go into after reading this as my first Ellen Hildebrand. I know the Academy caught my eye when it was getting its hot moment last fall, and I saw mixed reviews, and some of the mixed reviews were like, I don't like how she's using like modern, like too much like modern like name dropping, like TikTok, Instagram, that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be my cup of tea. I'm really interested in it though, especially because fall's coming. I see all her other books too, but I'm kind of overwhelmed by what I should read next from her. And summer's coming to a close, so maybe I'm just gonna read The Academy. We'll see. But yeah, overall, love this book. I love the messaging behind each person's story. I also liked there was mystery to it, but at the same time, it wasn't really a mystery at all because I knew what was gonna happen, and I still gobbled that up. I ate it up. I aspire. I think I found my new muse. Ellen Hildebrand, because when I write, I'm not trying to be like the next Shakespeare. That's for sure. But I'm also just writing for fun. I'm writing to capture the human experience. And so much of the time, people try to be way too serious. And when you're way too serious all the time, you're not living, because life is not serious. I mean, some parts of it. But the stupid parts. But yeah, Lisbeth was the perfect, like, house boots hold the hotel down character. She ate, left no crumbs. The hints of romance in this, like, Ellen, I see you. It's not like spicy or anything. It's very nice, romantic, sultry, like true love. And I love it. I love this book. I actually have no regrets picking this up. And yeah, so that's going to conclude this 3-week, month-long journey of summer reading. And it's kind of perfect because summer's coming to an end, and I had a okay summer. It wasn't one for the books. And I had a good reading summer though. I'll give this summer that. I read a lot of good books, and I read a lot of books that I've been like eyeing up recently or for years. Like Margot's Got Money Troubles. I read that. That was a great book. What else? Misery by Stephen King. We read in this. That was a really good book. All the books I read in this video too, all have blue covers. I saw that on my Fable. I was like, all the books I read in August all have bright blue covers. It's kind of aesthetic. So if you watched this far, comment down your favorite memory you made this summer of 26. And I hope this fall is everything that you ever dreamed of. And if you didn't have a good summer, we all have to have those summers. We all have to flop and get bangs one summer of our lives, right? We just got to do that. And next summer, everything in the winter's going to die. Spring, summer, we're going to all come back as different people next summer, and I'm excited. I'm going to try to post more. I don't know if I will because I literally get 2 views for a video, but I don't really care because I like talking about books. And I also think I have to expand on my vocabulary when I talk about books, and I have to stop saying like so much. Because when I think of like books in my head and I review them, I'm like, dang, I'm eating this review up. But then I say the words out loud and I sound so stupid. But okay, never mind. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next vlog. I have some ideas. I have some ideas floating around in my head about what to do, and I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just a girl who reads. I'm just a girl standing in front of a book asking it to give me a 5-star. Did I just eat that up? And I also, let's talk about the movies I watched in this too. I'm gonna do a VHS reading, I'm gonna do a VHS watching vlog. That's gonna be cool. Okay, I watched Notting Hill. I watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Hit after hit. I loved My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I liked it better than Notting Hill. I actually don't mind Notting Hill. Not my favorite. What other movie? I mean, I watched a lot of movies during this whole duration of this vlog. I saw The Odyssey. 10 out of 10. Cersei's my girl. Shout out Cersei if you watched my reading vlog. I saw Spider-Man Brand New Day. Nothing to write home about. I'm one of the biggest fans of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I was there. I was on the front lines with the bulletproof vest on during Civil War, during Infinity War, during I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. I don't want to go. Please. No. I was there. I was the girl that said Tom Holland is her favorite Spider-Man. And I just wasn't. I was let down. And a lot of people, I get why a lot of people love it, but I just have beef with some of the parts of that movie. Overall, I did like it though. This is getting too much. I'll see you in the next one. And bye.